Amy, obviously this is completely new to both of us, Zoom, and I suppose on a wider scale, what's going on in the world. And I'm just wondering, how are you getting on with it all?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. I'm just adapting. I suppose everyone has to adapt. I am doing my leaving cert, so I'm lucky in a way because I just have a focused time during the day where I study.
Mm.
Um, I have developed a routine of just going through my school timetable. Um, I'm finding it hard at times to motivate myself, but um, overall, my family are really supportive and they don't pressure me to do any work, and we all help each other out around the house. So doing fine. I started a journal, like it's like literally called March 2020. So like when we went into isolation and all that. And I just like write down how I'm feeling. Then I would box. I just find that is so therapeutic, and I just box a bag in my room. And then I go for a walk, and then I start my school day.
Brilliant.
That's what helps me anyway. It's just a routine.
Has there been a time in your life or an experience that's kind of helped you develop ways of coping?
I used to not be very good at dealing with my emotions. I used to be very, like, if I felt something, I wouldn't know why I felt it, or I just wasn't very aware of, like, why I'd be so angry or so sad. Um, People now say that I'm very self-aware, and it's because I kind of had to be. In the past, I've gone through like a lot of, I suppose, just mental struggles. Um, I live in a very good home in Dunboyne, and we're all great. Like I'm family really supportive and all, and I'm good at sports, and I play loads of sports, and I'm good in school and stuff. It's just I developed an eating disorder when I was 16, and that was a time when I really just couldn't deal with just life in general anyway.
And what was that like for you, Amy? Because I know like that can mean so many different things to maybe different people watching. Like how did that impact your life at the time?
At the time, it kind of just built up really slowly.
Mm.
Like it wasn't something that just happened like that. So at the start, it didn't really impact my life too much. It was just kind of something that was there, and I suppose I would deal with it later.
Mm.
And then when I was 17, it kind of hit full, it was just really bad. It just got into a really bad state where I felt as if I was trapped in this constant cycle.
Mm.
Um, Now it's actually, I suppose I'm still dealing with it because I have to deal with it the rest of my life. But at the moment, it's not affecting me too much.
Mm.
But I can empathize with people that are going through this time, like with isolation, and who would be going through something like an eating disorder, because it's very like the one thing that they do say is you need to kind of have a routine, and you need to have something to kind of get your mind off the eating disorder. So I can understand how people might find it really difficult at this time.
And Amy, what's it like talking about it? Because I know these aren't things that a lot of teenagers will be comfortable talking about, and things that affect their mental health, and eating disorders being one of them.
I've gotten so used to talking about it at this stage. It's like I'm just talking about something else. Like it's like I'm talking about anything really. But it is very like it's kind of empowering in a way because most people just avoid the topic completely. Mental health is such a taboo subject in Ireland, and like when I do talk about it, it just makes me feel like I'm just like everyone else, kind of.
And like going through that, and I know obviously you say there's days and that you're still going through it, and you can struggle and you'll be going through it for your life. But I suppose getting through that initial struggle, What have you learned about yourself?
I've learned there's this one thing I would always say to myself while I was going through the roughest days. And that was, you're stronger than you can possibly imagine.
Mm.
And that's something that I have learned, because you just don't think you're going to get through it, to be honest. You just don't think that you just think you're going to be in this cycle forever. But even when times are really bad and when I felt as if people weren't supporting me, or I felt as if I was alone, I still got up the next day and I still carried on with what I was doing.
If you were to put that in a word, like a trait about yourself, what is it that you realised?
So I realised I was brave, because it's kind of scary going through something that you don't really understand, and that your family can't. It's not something like you teach your child how to walk, you know. Not everyone knows how to get their child through an eating disorder, so it's very, very scary.
And what would you say to someone who is trying to support someone maybe going through an eating disorder?
I'd say, you know, my family, they loved me no matter what, and that was great, and that really helped. But sometimes the thing that really did help me was when my family were saying to me that you can change and you can get through this. Even when I didn't believe in myself.
And I think that's so amazing for anyone to hear, no matter what it is that you're trying to get through, just being there for you and believing in you. Has it changed the way you live your life at all, or the way you kind of approach life?
Yeah, in every way. I've become more, I just look on the positive side of things now rather than looking, because I used to be quite a negative person. Now I look at the positive attributes I have, and I develop myself based on those. I know a lot of people say this, but you're not alone. You really aren't alone. You don't know what is happening behind closed doors, and if that gives you a little bit of hope, then so be it. But just I said that just to get people feeling a little bit of hope, because there's always hope, no matter what.
Do you think there's anything to be learned from this experience?
I think we can learn that it's okay to be outside your comfort zone. Nothing bad will come of it, really. The only thing that will happen is to be maybe a bit scared at the start, but when it's essential to get outside your comfort zone if you want to grow.